Good morning. I'm John Ellsworth with Success Strategies. I'm the founder of Success Strategies Incorporated and the creator of the Success Strategies Advantage. And I want to welcome you to today's presentation, which I've entitled, When Will You Find Time? I recently talked to a brand new client of mine, a fairly new client anyway, and asked him this very same question. When will you find time to make the changes that you need to make? We had, in our initial discussions, determined that there were some areas that we really needed to work with on a cost per hundredweight basis and work to improve those areas. And he had agreed that that would happen, yet I was still seeing some dragging of feet as we went through the process. And so, to give you a little background, he had really good production, not fabulous, but good production per cow. And there were some areas that were high on cost. He was high on supply cost per hundredweight and also his feed costs. And I will point out that I had recommended that he hire an outside nutritionist, but he said, I've been saving $1,000 a month by not having this nutritionist. Well, it wouldn't take too many additional pounds of milk to pay for that with his size herd, but I realized he was saving $1,000 a month, but I had to ask myself and ask him also how many dollars he was maybe leaving on the table. Because he had higher feed costs, as I pointed out, and his supply cost was higher too. Now, ironically, we were able to solve both issues, the higher supply cost and the higher feed cost, with one change, and that was on the nutrition side. The higher feed costs was just because, for two reasons, he wasn't getting the greatest production that he was capable of, and we have since proven that he can do because his production is up now per cow. So that was pulling keeping his cost per hundredweight a little higher on both supplies and feed. But also, we found that an item that he was buying that was being thrown into supplies due to its medicinal expense, I'm sorry, not medicinal expense, but medicinal benefits, that was driving up his cost per hundredweight on supplies as well. So we solved two issues with one change of a nutritionist. My point is not to pick on the old nutritionist who's no longer there. This could happen to anyone, and I'm not necessarily saying it was the nutritionist's fault. But the point is, when you're 40 cents per hundredweight higher on feed costs and 10 cents higher per hundredweight on supplies, for this gentleman, that totaled up to $126,000 per year. So when you take out the $1,000 per month for an independent nutritionist, that's $12,000 less, and he's still netting out $114,000 per year additional revenue. So my point is simply this. The main point is just this. The willingness of the producer to not only analyze his costs, but make the changes that he needed to make and take the steps necessary to get that done. At $114,000 per year, how much had he left on the table all these years? And the reason being simply that he was too busy? I think that's a sad excuse in his situation. But think about your own operation. And I'm not saying you have any of these, but think about if you possibly have any similar challenges in your operation. If so, I would encourage you to take action today. Don't wait one day longer. Our industry margins are too thin, and who knows what next year will bring. We don't really know at this point. Nobody has a crystal ball, of course. But the margins in this industry are too thin to ignore these type of items, these types of changes. They say that the best time to plant an oak tree, 20 years ago, but the second best time is today. So as you approach your year end, I would propose a question that you should ask yourself. Where should my focus be? What should I be changing? What should I be improving? But the ultimate message is this. Don't delay. Your very survival and overall success really could depend upon it. So I thank you for listening today. Again, I'm John Ellsworth, founder of Success Strategies Incorporated and the creator of the Success Strategies Advantage, and I want to thank you for listening.